Oh god, my alarm clock's going off. Apparently it's time to wake up. Dude, it's like magic. Every time I say WAP, this sound effect happens. WAP. 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 Good luck editing that, future Josh. Hey everyone, and welcome back to PlaycrastiNation, population 53, and today is Sunday, which means you probably know it by now, after the intro. It's time for the WAP. Today is Sunday, January 24th, 2016, and later today my boys play, so there's some good luck to them, hopefully. Alright, let's get right into it. So as you guys know by now, every WAP has 4 parts. The very first part, which we're going to start with, is welcoming new citizens into PlaycrastiNation. Based on the names I'm seeing here, it looks like we've gotten 9 new citizens this week. This week's new citizens include Proctor Gaming, Indie Knit, A Weird Gamer, Alpha Joe, Winter Bear, Evil Werewolf, Bakurus, or Bachurus, I'm sorry, Loca Gaming, did I do it right? And Lethal Blood. And that's everybody, so thank you guys so much for choosing to become citizens of PlaycrastiNation this week. We are happy to have you, and hope you guys enjoy your time here. Alright, second part of every WAP, we move on to channel news. Now this week there's not a lot to talk about as far as channel news goes. It's been running pretty smoothly here at PlaycrastiNation. So far I've stuck to that upload schedule and we haven't seen any lapses in it thus far. This week in Nuclear Throne we beat the throne for the first time ever. So if you haven't seen that episode yet, I believe it's episode 14 maybe, let me check. Yep, if you haven't seen it yet, Let's Play Nuclear Throne episode 14 is going to be the episode. If you want to see the first time that we've ever beat the throne in Nuclear Throne, if you want to see what the ending of that game looks like, go check that video out. In our 2 episodes of Isaac this week, we continued our streak. We didn't lose in either of them, so everything's going smoothly in terms of Isaac. In this week's episode of Fallout 4, we continued the search for Nick Valentine with a little detour along the way, so if you haven't checked out either of those 2 episodes yet, go do that. In Wednesday's episode of the Pokemon Randomized Nuzlocke, our luck continued, and we caught some awesome new people. I'm not going to tell you exactly who, but if you want to go check that out, I highly recommend it. And finally, in yesterday's episode of Banjo-Kazooie, we take on Bubblegloop Swamp and the piranha-infested waters that it brings with it, so if you want to see a little bit of suffering and torment, go check out that episode. One big thing that did happen this week, though, is we hit 50 subscribers, which is amazing. It is a milestone I set for myself a while back, and honestly didn't think I'd ever cross it, but we have, and just thank you guys so much. There's really nothing else I can say, but thank you guys for the continued support. 50 subscribers is crazy. I remember I started with about 17 or so, and they were mostly just people I knew that I begged to, subscribe to my channel just to say that they had. And, since then, everybody that we've gained has been new people I don't know, complete strangers out there who, for whatever reason, are choosing to follow, choosing to watch. So, now, as far as a new goal, so we've hit 50, which was my current milestone that I was trying to hit, and we've hit it. The next milestone is going to be 100 subscribers. I don't know when we're going to hit that. I've set a goal for myself of trying to hit 100 subscribers by April 1st. That gives us 2 months to get 47 new subscribers, which I think can be done. It's about like a subscriber every day and a half or so. So if we can do that, but to do that, I'm going to need your guys' help. If you have friends that you think might enjoy the channel, go ahead and share it out with them, because I think that's going to be the easiest way for us to continue growing, is kind of, word of mouth. And that's really all the channel news we have for this week, kind of a slow week. So next we're going to move on to part 3, the question of the week. This week's question of the week comes from Loca Gaming, and she asks, what is the weirdest thing that has ever happened to you? I honestly didn't even know where to begin with this question, because I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's the fact that I'm weird and I just bring weirdness with me, but I feel like strange things happen to me all the time. I actually have 2 weird encounters that involve squirrels, oddly enough. My college has a ton of squirrels on it. In fact, when I first toured up here to see if I wanted to come to college here, the first thing I noticed about the school was the squirrels, and I asked the tour guide about it, and they were like, oh yeah, everybody loves the squirrels up here. So my college is loaded with squirrels. But they're not like normal squirrels. Like normally, a squirrel would be very timid, it would run away from you, These squirrels are hard. One time while I was walking along the sidewalk down my university's quad, there was a squirrel kind of just sitting in the middle of the sidewalk, and I was like, oh, surely as I'm walking it'll move as I get close to it. It didn't move. It completely sat completely still as I walked past it, and I accidentally kicked it just a little bit, a little hop in the air, and then he scurried off after I kicked him. So that was kind of weird. I've never really seen a squirrel with balls of steel like that. And my other squirrel encounter actually involves an attack from afar. I was actually walking down that same path in my college, which is loaded with trees, and all of a sudden I got whopped on the head by something. and I looked up and there was this squirrel that was dual wielding acorns. He was throwing them at me. I don't know what I did to him, but he chucked a freaking nut at my head. But that's probably not the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. So freshman year I lived in a dormitory building, and the way it was designed is the bathrooms were community style. So you had your room, you had a hallway full of rooms, and at the end of the hallway there was one shared bathroom for all the guys that lived in that hallway. And I actually had two separate strange encounters in that bathroom. The first weird encounter ended with me seeing the bare ass of one of the dudes who lives on my floor. So to get into the community style bathroom, there's a little like code that you have to punch in on the door. Every person has their own individual code, and when you punch in the code, there's very loud beeps that happen. And you know, it's a 4-digit code plus the star, so beep beep beep, 5 loud beeps. Now you think that those beeps would alert somebody inside the bathroom that somebody is about to come in, but in this one instance that didn't happen. So I enter my code, I open the door, and the first thing I see as I walk into the bathroom is this guy who had clearly, I guess he just got done showering, fully naked, looking at himself in the mirror. No underwear, no towel, no nothing. He's just standing there, proud as can be. Now this is something I can totally understand doing in the privacy of your own home, but in a community style bathroom, what are you doing with your schlong out, buddy? So yeah, I open the door. Obviously he freaks out, he tries to cover himself, and he turns and he's just like, I'm sorry man, I didn't think anybody would come in. And it's not even like it was a time of day when he maybe didn't expect anybody to come in. It was 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. All I wanted to do was go to the bathroom in peace, and instead, I saw butt cheeks. So yeah, that's the first weird thing that's happened to me. That one's more gross than the second one. The second one is weird in more of a creepy way. So again, same bathroom, enter my code, beep 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 beep. I walk in to go to the bathroom. Now in this bathroom there were 2 stalls. There was one here, and then there was one up against the wall. I went into the one closer to the door. So, you know, I go in, I close the door, I lock myself in, you know, the rest is history. We're not going to go into the details on that, you pervert. But while I'm in that stall, I hear beep, 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 beep. I'm like, okay, somebody else is coming in. So the person walks in, you know, I can see his feet. So, you know, the door's here. I'm in this stall. There's a stall right here. You know, I can see his feet as he walks by, blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't go in the stall next to me. And I can still see his feet from, you know, where I'm sitting. He's just standing outside that other stall, not doing anything. So, you know, I finish my business, pull up my pants, open the door, and when I come out, he is hiding behind the stall door. It's like if you ever like played hide and seek with a little kid and they hide behind like a set of curtains and you can see like from their knees down, but the rest of them is hidden. That's what he was standing like behind this stall door that he had pulled to hide behind. So I'm pretty sure that dude literally just stood there and listened to me take a poop. So, if I had to pick one thing that's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me, that's probably it. Alright, now onto something a little less weird. Let's go to point 4, which is the tip of the week. So this week I got a tweet from somebody, I can't remember who because my brain hurts really bad and I'm not very smart. Anyway, whoever it was, this guy sent me a tweet this week asking how I managed to do so much at the same time. Between 9 videos a week on YouTube, interacting with you guys on Twitter, I've got 15 credit hours worth of classes I have to go to every week, I work 10 hours a week, I've got a radio show that I have to do and prepare for every Saturday. Now this isn't supposed to be some like douchebag bragging on myself, oh I'm such a hard worker, I could do so much, blah, blah. It's not supposed to be that at all. But what he asked me was how do you manage to do all of that? So my tip of the week for you guys is this. I don't know how you guys can see this, but I keep a schedule in my phone of every single thing I need to be doing at every single time of every day. You know, it expands throughout the entire day. I've got all my different organizations in one color. I've got my work in another color. I've got my radio show in another color. And then I've got all my classes here in the middle. And, you know, between working out and time for recording, all these white spots are my time for recording. And then I've got my editing time in there as well. So I highly recommend tip of the week. If you do not already use a Google Calendar or anything of the sort to keep yourself organized, do it. Before coming into college, I was an extremely unorganized person. I didn't keep a planner, I didn't keep a schedule, I didn't know what I was doing at any time, ever. So maybe you're out there and you're like me, you want to start a YouTube channel, but at the same time you're like, how can I balance YouTube and school and work? Tip of the week, get organized. It'll help you a lot. It'll tell you exactly where you need to be at every time, and you can better allocate your time so you can do things like record and edit during the week and not have to worry about trying to squeeze them in randomly when you have free time. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of the W.A.P. Make sure to go ahead and, you can look in the description below. I will have links to all of the playlist of videos that I created in this past week, so if you need to get caught up on anything, that's the place to go. Thanks again to the 9 new citizens who joined this week. If you're not currently a citizen and you're thinking about becoming one, I would love it if you would subscribe and become a citizen of PlaycrastiNation today. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. I moved on from carrots and now I eat almonds. Almonds don't suck as bad.